You're clapping on faith. I haven't done anything yet. But thank you very, very much for joining us. Welcome to Suite 114. My name is James Allen, and for those of you that came here with your friends, your family, got dragged out on a cold winter's night, and hadn't had a chance to read the coaster yet and weren't quite sure why you were here, this is a magic show. No, which means this is going to get really weird really fast. No, don't say I didn't warn you. The only thing I will say just before we begin, I realize that many of you have these electronic boxes with you on the table that are connected to your brains and run your lives. I am so one of you. I am on your side. Keep them with you. If you get bored during the show, just check Twitter. Doesn't bother us at all. You can take all the photos and all the videos that you like. I believe this entire show has been on Snapchat 98 times over. The only thing that we ask in return is you set them to silent. If your phone goes off during the show, you will be responsible for buying one drink for every single person in this room. And they will clap for you like teenage girls at a Taylor Swift concert. And you'll be kind of unhappy about that. That's all right. Now, if you have never seen a show quite like this, my job is very, very simple. To convince you of things that are not true. And if you let me, that is not my fault. For example, the gentleman sitting here in the front has real psychic powers, and he can prove it. Oh, sorry, you're looking over your shoulder. Sorry, the blue shirt, the gray jacket, the one clenching his jaw, desperately praying I would talk to someone else. Anyone else. Real psychic powers, and he can prove it, because, I mean, let's be realistic. I would not have paid for parking in downtown Toronto, dressed like this, unless he can prove it. Ah, I see your look on your face. You don't believe a word of this. This is fine. No, I'm on your side. I respect your skepticism. So, a test for you, sir, in front of these doubters. Imagine that I had cards. You know, the little paper widgets you would use to play solitaire if they hadn't invented the iPhone? And I took one of those cards and placed it here on the table, but facing the wrong way, so you can't see it and no one knows what it is. Maybe me. Imagine we ask him to guess what it was. Imagine he guesses right. That would almost be a miracle. Everybody in this room would clap and cheer for you. You would be a celebrity. You could start your own religion. Wouldn't that be fun? Temples, disciples, the young people would follow you on the Snapchat. Whatever the hell that does. Now, there is a second possibility. What happens if you name a card? It's not the one on the table. If that happens, you fail. Embarrassed, disgraced, an entire room full of complete strangers will turn and laugh at you. If you're sitting over there, you can't see his face. There's actually a small possibility he may cry. The woman sitting across from you just nodded. Now, we have an agreement. No one leaves this room tonight not feeling as though they had a wonderful time. So if that happens, you guess wrong, you get the wrong card, something. If you should be so humiliated in front of all these people, I will give you that, just to make you feel better. Your name is? Adam. Notice how I now have Adam's undivided attention. Oh, you're laughing. That's fine. Sir Robert Borden has Adam's undivided attention. Grade 10 history for the win. It's a Saturday night in Toronto. I'm dressed like this. I'll take all the help I can get. Don't guess anything yet. I don't want to influence your decision much. I'm going to ask you guys, is Adam sneaky? That's too easy. Oh, that'll do. That'll do nicely. That'll be the card. Now, Adam, before you guess, everyone else, take a moment, put yourself in his situation. He has, roughly speaking, two choices. He can use his psychic powers, guess the card, discern the spirits, I don't know, and you will all go nuts, like teenage girls at a Taylor Swift concert nuts. Yes, I'm sorry, sir, you have to do that. Or he could be, a jerk, guess the wrong card, and I give you the money. For the love of God, do not tell me which one of those you're planning. Adam, guess what that card is now.
8 of hearts.
What?
8 of hearts.
No, I mean seriously, what? I do this a lot. Gentlemen tend to say the ace of spades. Ladies tend to say the queen of hearts. 8 of hearts is not exactly a popular favorite. So the question is, are you psychic? Or are you a jerk? The woman across from you almost answered for you. Do you know why I didn't choose you? It's not that. No. Your name is?
Atlee.
Ali?
Atlee.
Atlee.
Yeah.
Ali, I didn't choose you because you were going to guess the wrong card. I would have had to give you the money. Adam gets nothing. Well, that's not true. You are going to clap. He did nail the 8 of hearts. That could have ended very differently. 51 choices would have been wrong, and you would have been $100 happier. Or, it's also possible that no matter what card you said, it would have been that card. That was some kind of magic trick. And your chances were basically 0. The problem is, you will never know. Because it's my show, my rules. I'm not telling. I mean, if you know one thing about magicians, that is the one thing you know. We're basically famous for keeping secrets. But if you're going to enjoy tonight as much as possible, do not think of this as keeping secrets. You think of this as one man sharing secrets. I just do it in a particularly irritating way, where I never manage to tell you the part of the secret you actually want to know. Actually, you know what? This is our last show of the year here. It is sort of getting into the holiday season. Would you like a secret just as a freebie?
Yes, please.
Yes, excellent. All right, 2 people and 28 with polite indifference. Good. No, I can work with that. This is the secret. It's not a magic secret per se, of how to make people happy. It comes from the scientific peer-reviewed journal, Cosmo. A subscriber. Good. No, this is not deep. This is not spiritual. This is not profound. It turns out if you want people to be happy, all you do is you give them money. The problem is you do this once. They want you to do it over and over and over again. You're stuck in a pattern you can't get out of. The problem is you do this once. They want you to do it over and over and over again. You're stuck in a pattern you can't get out of. These are solid silver. You see absolutely anything in the magic show you enjoy. Do please feel free to applaud. I really am here. This is not TV. I have feelings. Okay, I get where you're coming from. It is the end of the day. It's been a sort of a damp and soggy, cold day. It's been a long week, come to think of it. Have you seen half the junk on CNN? I will cut you a deal. You see something you like. This is what you do. You fold your hands neatly. You lean back in your chair. Nod your head approvingly. Stick your lower lip out a little bit. Yes, good. It'll give all this a nice posh feel. It'll be like we're watching a rerun of Downton Abbey. You don't get to keep the money. You do get to look at it. Here. I said you don't get to keep the money. Men. They are real. These are American, which I believe makes them 96% silver. There is something slightly weird about them. They don't stick around for very long. No. No, I mean, yes, no, fine, pay attention, class. But no, more importantly than that, if you're the kind of person that claps when money disappears, you can buy them all that round of drinks right now. Was that a nod?
No, it's a
No, all right. Someday it's going to happen, just not tonight. Now let me see. You looked sad for a moment. Your name is? Huh?
I don't like to see money disappear.
Your name is? Nick, you don't like to see money disappear. The money's not gone. It's just invisible. Have you ever seen an invisible coin before? No. No is the correct answer. It's invisible. It was a trick question. Intelligent man. Keep that one. But if you take them from where they're hiding, I'm sorry, if you're sitting in the back, just to be clear, I'm not actually holding anything. I'm just a lunatic. But no, if you toss it up in the air, somewhere along the journey, it turns real. We're close enough, we can do this. What's that behind your ear? Still nothing, but... No, imagination works wonders. Anyone can do this. No. Mike, you can do this. Let me explain how this works. You're going to look silly. They're going to laugh. Hold on. With him, not at him. Parents, this is important. It's actually a little bit of fun. Right? You reach out of the air in front of you, grab an invisible coin. Yeah, he's as crazy as I am. This is going to work. You throw it in the air towards me. What? Oh. You sound like you thought that wasn't going to work. Of course it was going to work. It's my show. I make up the rules. Oh yeah, the whole happiness thing. It was the great moral philosopher, Homer Simpson, who said that the cause of and solution to all of life's problems was alcohol. And I'm sorry, they give me very little space to work with up here, so I'm just going to do that. That is a real bottle. It is a magic bottle. If you open it in about 7.5 seconds, someone from Suite 114 appears beside you with glasses. They also ask for your credit card. Oh, no. Best trick of the night. If you think anything I do is impressive, you basically need to see them. They are essentially ninjas. So we have Colin, we have Calvin, we have Mary Jane working behind the bar, looking after everyone in this room tonight. Thank you very, very much for all of your hard work. They make what I do look easy. But if there's absolutely anything you need during the evening, something else to eat, something else to drink, by all means, please feel free to ask. Doesn't bother us at all. In fact, the only thing I know about this show for sure is the more you drink, the more this makes sense. It's true. And if you think about it, technically, there's only one way to check to see whether or not I'm right. Now, many people wonder, in fact, we were having this conversation before the show began. People want to know, how is it that you wind up here doing whatever this is? More importantly, if you are parents, how do you make sure this never happens to your children? The good news is, wait, that laugh was a little too sincere. No, the good news is you can't go to school for this. When I was younger, I was at the University of Toronto. I was studying math. Not a fast track to popularity. And it was there on a Thursday afternoon. We were sitting with some students from the psychology department. We were at a place called the Blind Duck Pub. And we came up with this. Now, this is not a magic trick in the sense that most people are used to. This is a test to tell whether or not another human being is crazy. Okay, like 2 people in the room just went, No, the test works 100% of the time. Same 2 people. Okay, oh, sorry. It doesn't work on, like, teenagers, because nothing does, but adults, nailed. And I will explain. Normal humans, which should be most of you, see a rope that has 2 ends and 1 middle. People who have, a few screws loose see a rope that has 1, 2, 3 ends and 1 middle. Yeah, people who are nuts, who belong in padded rooms, see a rope that has 1, 2, 3, 4. Notice how at this point in the show, absolutely no one claps? No, because if you clap, that means you admit you see 4 ends. You are as messed up as this. Maybe you should be the ones doing the show. Okay, that clearly has you all terrified. All right, we won't go there again. I apologize. I can fix this. Maybe. This looks better. This looks borderline sensible. This actually starts to look like I'm holding 2. Yeah, but you've been watching since the start. You know this is a delusion, a hallucination. Hell, half of you were pre-drinking before the magic show. It is 1 long piece of... What? I'm sorry, it is both freezing and humid outside. These have been in the car all day. Give me a sec. 1 long piece. Oh, bloody hell. All right. We're going to skip to the part of the trick that works. How's that? Does require 1 long piece of rope. Does not require that you be impressed. Ta-da. Again, that laugh, a little too sincere. Actually, you know what? We'll do this off-center, and that way it won't get in the way. The funny thing is, if you undo this knot, it is one long piece. This part, I'm sorry, just gives me a headache. If you want to reconsider the bottle of wine, be my guest. But no, if you take the ends and you put them in your pocket, like that, get in there. It is not possible to make a knot in a piece of rope like that. Equally impossible, whatever that means, to undo the knot. The funny thing is, if the knot goes away, so do the ends. And now I have a rope that has no ends. But where are the ends? Yeah, in my pocket. So no, on the one hand, a rope that has no ends. On the other end, two ends that have no rope. In order to fix this, I do need the help of someone who is, I need the help of someone who is actually crazy. And hold on. No. It is considered very bad manners to nominate your own date. Luckily for all of you, Mike passed the test beforehand. A piece of advice for you, young man, as you make your way through life. Never, ever, ever grab a weird person's invisible coin. There are real life consequences. You're living them. Would you step into my office, please? Unfortunately, no one over there is going to clap for you. They're too busy reaching for their phones, but you can sort of sneak your way up over here. Yes, I know it is a tremendous obstacle course, and we are indebted to you for your bravery and your service.
I thought that was invisible.
Yeah, it's a prop. Thank you very much. Is Mike, yes?
Nick.
Hey, put stand right over here. That's why that didn't make any sense. Now, keep in mind that you know these people, so be careful when you answer. You didn't look quite so tall sitting over there. But be careful when you answer. Have you ever done anything this weird before?
No.
Excellent. Still normal. We're good. Let me see. I'll set this up for you. If you would take your right hand is the one with the thumb on the left side, and just hold there. Great. And if you would just blow gently in the center. Excellent. Now slowly. Yeah, you got it. Yeah, you're good. Perfect. They act like they see this every day, but you're doing very, very well. The only thing I ask is that while you're up here, if you would please stand very, very still. These scissors are ridiculously sharp, and we have no insurance. 2 pieces of rope. Oops, where's the end? More or less the same size. Hey, not bad. Nick, I have to ask you a deeply personal question. Are you right-handed, left-handed, or too drunk to care?
Right-handed.
Excellent. You're going to take your, the third answer is also acceptable. You're going to take your right hand, you're going to wave it over top of the rope mysteriously. It's
With the scissors?
No.
Oh, good.
Leave the scissors. Only one of us needs to play with sharp objects. Has he ever done this before? No. Okay. First time. First time is fine. So it's elbow up, relax the wrist, counterclockwise. We're looking for something between mysterious and relax the wrist. We're looking for something between mysterious and spooky. Right. I ask for mysterious and spooky, I get mysterious and sexy. It's all good. Now, you are old enough to know that shouldn't do anything, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, except one end got shorter. Or the other end got longer. I'm really not sure which. Here, you hold your end. You're going to wave over top. Don't. Hold. How many is he? Wait. Good. And pull. Careful, there's glasses beside you, not too fast. Sorry, take a little step forward. Yeah, okay. We know your history with standing objects. Okay, stop. For those of you keeping track, this is the weirdest way possible to put 2 pieces of cloth back together. He has a long piece over here, I have a small piece over here. Okay, you can tell they're not happy. This sort of awkward giggling you hear, this is them being nervous. No, they're worried they might be this crazy. You have to prove to them nothing out of the ordinary is actually going on. This is just a piece of rope and everything else is just a flight of fancy. So we'll hang the little piece on the big one. You wave one more time. Good. And watch. Unfortunately, this part takes about 7 minutes. I love how you think I'm joking. If you see the bottom of your glass and that upsets you, now's the time. No, here we go. The little piece melts into the big one until it ties itself into a knot. One more wave. Or here, just blow. Thank you. All that's left is the rope and the irritating fact that Nick is never going to tell you how he did that. Now, it's, yeah, it was good. Did you know he could do this sort of thing? Here, I'll take a little step. Sorry, no, but seriously? Oh, anything? But, no, you said you didn't know he could do this sort of thing. So this is like an undiscovered talent.
Yeah,
okay. No, so this is fine. Please applaud if you would like to find out right here, right now, just how far this goes. Okay, I really did go to the University of Toronto. I really did study math. I cannot write an essay to save my life. Even I know there is something wrong with this sentence. Your name is?
My name?
Yes.
Abby.
Abby, would you please examine my spoons? You see? Yeah. No, you see, in the 1970s, the CIA, the actual CIA, this is something we learned thanks to the wonderful people at WikiLeaks, took a very serious interest to the tune of hundreds of thousands of dollars in an Israeli magician by the name of Uri Geller. His claim was that he could manipulate solid objects using only the power of his mind. And for reasons that only made sense in the 1970s, his specialty was cutlery. Abby, they are spoons?
Yes.
May I have one? Perfect. And if you would take your left hand, you're going to hold it over here just like that. The fact you're tall makes this easier. And you're going to take a deep breath in, and out, and in, and out, and in. Has nothing to do with the trick. No, he just has 600 watts of lights pointed at his eyes. He deserves this moment of relaxation. No, you're doing very, very well. You're going to keep breathing slowly, deeply, calmly, just like that. There is no rush. And with my promise that you are safe, you're going to close your eyes. I will make...
Keep them closed?
Yeah. I will make this make sense to them, don't worry.
Okay.
No, you see, it's okay. At any given moment, the human body is giving off enough energy in the form of heat to power a 100-watt light bulb. But this is not useful energy. It just goes off into the air around you, increasing the general entropy of the universe in accordance with the second law of thermodynamics. I'm sorry, the magic show has become a science lesson. But what if that you could refocus that energy, repurpose it into something useful through like concentration, meditation, spending less time on Facebook, I don't know. But then you'd really be onto something. So you're going to keep breathing, just like you're doing very, very well. And even though your eyes are closed, I want you to imagine that you can see the spoon. It's about 4.5 inches below your hand. I want you to imagine that you can see the spoon. The fact that that makes no sense is what makes this work. And just keep breathing. In and out, doing very, very well. And in and out. And in. Out. And in. And out. And in. Okay, open your eyes. That's all. You know, it's subtle. Can I see the other one? Here, hold your hand up this time. We'll do it together. So here, you can keep your eyes open. Ready? Breathe in. Adam, I'm wrong. He's going to start the religion. Here, hold your hands straight ahead. If you're sitting further in the back, I realize there's nothing to see here. So you're just going to breathe out, close your hands slowly. 1, 2, 3. You take that. Okay, the bit which is bent will be warm, but after about 4 seconds, it's safe to touch. He's not stupid enough to try. Definitely a keeper. In a moment, they're going to finish processing. Then they will clap for you, and you can go back to your seat, because that was wonderful. And if anyone would like to see that after the show to take a closer look at it, you're more than welcome to. Please give him a hand. That was wonderful. Yeah, it's safe. It's safe. Yeah. Yes.
Like this?
Yes.
Oh, thanks.
But, sorry, one more thing. Nick? You keep that at your seat. When you leave here tonight, you take that with you. Under no circumstances you tell anyone from Suite 114 that's what you're doing. And when you get home tonight, before you go to sleep, you place that underneath your pillow. No, this is important. And when you wake up in the morning, there will be men with dark suits and sunglasses who want to ask you some very serious questions. Speaking of, if they want to see it after the show, they're welcome to. Speaking of weird science experiments that you want to conduct on other people, I need the help of 5 people who may or may not be crazy. So let me see. Atlee, yes? You'd be perfect. Will you step in my office, please? I'm going to actually get some... These over here. I'll give one of those for you. The gentleman with the bow tie. Can never have too many of those up on stage. Your name is?
Phil.
Phil or Bill?
Bill.
Bill. Excellent. I will give you that over there. Sitting at the end with the necklace. Your name? Allison. Excellent. There, and I have 2 of these left, so we will do this with the zebra print there. Skeptic to the core. This is fantastic. I will give you this. And you seem far too happy that it wasn't you, so I'll pick you as well. It's like, I need a sip just for...
I need glasses.
No, that's fair. There. And your name is?
Kate.
Kate. I will give you one of this. And it'll be like an elementary school talent show, so you sort of want to make a straight line. I won't make you sing, I swear. So I'll give each of you a pen and each of you a coaster. Magic and Martini brought to you by the fine people at Grand Spirits. And, did you guys take one? May I? Coaster, something somewhere? Sure. Is that just try? Great. So in a moment, I'm going to ask you to turn and face the wall behind you. You're going to take the cap off your pen, and on the so you're going to turn so they don't see what you're writing. You're going to take the cap off the pen, and on the blank side of the coaster, you are going to write for us an activity. Don't get ahead of me. But an activity that, according to your way of thinking, your way of seeing the world, you would consider to be completely nuts. Absolutely insane. Now, this is a lot to ask for on 2 drinks. So there are different ways you could go about this. You could do like the Marvel superhero comic book route, so, building a cosmic death ray in your parents' garage. You could do a workplace sort of a thing, photocopying your butt and stapling it to your boss's face. He's moving his... Again! All right. It could be something as simple as wearing sandals with socks. I don't know. But whatever crazy means to you, turn around and begin writing now. Why are we doing this? Because in 1973, one man single-handedly proved the entire psychiatric industry was, in a word, nuts. His name was David Rosenhan, and he sent in 15 fake mental patients into institutions in 5 different states, and their job was to do their best to pretend that they heard voices. And it was a test for the doctors there to see if they could tell they were faking. It was a test they failed completely. Every single one locked up for months, every single one forced to take antipsychotic drugs as a condition of their release. If you are done writing, place the cap back on your pen. Be careful, they're quite permanent. Keep the writing side towards you, but if you turn around and face the audience, we will know you're done. Now, if the story had ended there, that would have been one thing, but there is one institution that, given the number of iPhones in the room right now, I will not name out loud for fear of being sued. They said, that could not happen here. You send us your imposters, we will find them. And I said, are they all done? Okay, sorry, who was it at the end? Kate. So if you pass all the coasters down to Kate, and if you have the marker, just put the cap back on. You can leave it on the table, on the chair, or just drop it on the floor, whatever feels most natural to you. Yes, and Kate, when you get them all just all facing the same way, just mix them up as much as you like. And they said, you sent us your imposters, we'll find them. I said, that's fine. This is a university. Graduate students work cheap. We'll come back in 3 months. You tell us how many you found. I'm sorry, did that hit a little close to home for someone? They did. They waited. They came back, and 3 months later, they were greeted with a nice, thick file folder, 41 names. These are the imposters that they had identified and released. And the experimenters did something very, very interesting. It's described in their paper. They folded their hands. They leaned back in their chair. They nodded their heads approvingly. That's where I got the idea. They said, "That is fascinating, because we never sent anyone in to begin with. It was all in your imagination. So if it is this difficult for professionals, imagine what it's like for a math major." Are they mixed?
Yes.
May I have one? I'll just take them in order. So here we are. Singing in the rain. So what it is it's sort of an artistic endeavor, a creative expression, but it has to do with the way that other people perceive us, right? This is somebody who is living and seeing, spending time in the thoughts and minds of others, is mindful of how they appear to the rest of the world, sort of sees themselves as a member of society, as a member of a group, knows that their choices impact those around them, and sort of realizes that, ultimately we all have to get along because, we're all in this thing on this rock together. So sort of an aspect of being a team player. I don't want to say too much. Hold that, say nothing. Next one. Doing the hokey pokey on top of the CN Tower. So no, now this what has to do, this is sort of personal safety. So again, this is with a mind towards, this is sort of a person who looks to the future, but they see their choices and their actions as having consequences that ripple out into the world. As a person who sort of likes to have a plan. As an organization going from A to B to C to D, there's an almost a perverse sense of satisfaction that comes with ticking things off the to-do list. Or actually, judging from the handwriting, vigorously scratching them out. Say nothing. Hold that. Next. Walking on clouds. That is poetic. No, this is sort of, again, looking at the world from different perspectives, seeing different things, imagining things that could be possible but ultimately aren't. Sort of living in a... This is, we see the sort of person that prefers Star Wars to Star Trek, Starbucks to Second Cup. I'm not prepared to say who they voted for, but this person is also not willing to admit in front of all of you that they watched the Gilmore Girls, but is absolutely on Team Logan. Hold that. 2 left? And there are 2 of you. May I have them both? So here we have running in the winter outside. Oh dear. Singing in public. All right, I'm okay with that. So here, let me say, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask, is this yours? However, we're in a rather unique situation, a special environment. This is a magic show. No one can be expected to trust anything that anyone says on stage at a magic show. So when I ask them the questions, when they answer, they will be telling the truth or they will be lying. We will not know, and you're laughing, I like this. No, we will not know if they're lying or telling the truth, and they will not care. So singing in public, is this yours?
No.
Is this yours? No. Running outside in the winter, is this yours? No. Is this yours? No. For those of you playing along, there are 4 possibilities. Yes, yes, no, no, yes, no, and no, yes. This is not a particularly helpful combination. So I'm going to ask them if they were lying or telling the truth. However, this is a rather unique situation, a special circumstance. No one can expect that to trust anything that anyone says on stage in a magic show. So when they answer, they will be lying or telling the truth. We will not know. They will not care. Lying or telling the truth? Lying or telling the truth? Do you trust her? They're laughing. This is so not a good... No, the reason I ask if you trust her is because she said no 2 times and she was telling the truth, which would mean that Ah, yes, the eyebrow, the eyebrows give you away, sir. You give me that, you take that, you take that, you take that. Okay. No stealing the pens. If you are holding your coaster, meaning somehow I was just hanging out inside of your twisted imaginations. I only told them the good things. If we got this right, please return to your seats. Now, I know that that story is absolutely true. You can go up and look up the paper online. It is so old, it is available free to access online. It is called On Being Insane, On Being Sane in Insane Places, and the ending disturbs many, many people. 41 real psychiatric patients were released by mistake. And I just want to reassure you that that was many, many years ago. The odds that one of those patients would be in Toronto doing a magic show, very slim. So now, let me see. There is an educational part of this show. It is actually, this technique has become very popular in Europe in sort of large firm corporate job interviews, and it's very, very slowly making its way across the Atlantic. There is a technique for figuring out what someone is like, what they're actually like, not what they sort of say they're like or what they put on that perfectly crafted LinkedIn profile. Basically, how to look into the soul of another human being and spot a troublemaker. I don't know why I looked in your direction, sir. It's nothing personal. Actually, just out of curiosity, please applaud if in the past 18 months you were on the giving or receiving end of a job interview. Okay. This is good. So the way you apply this technique is very simple. You ask a question that has no answer. So one way you can do it is, no, you just ask questions that are insanely difficult. Sir, the moon landing was in July of 1969. Please name the astronauts. Wives. And cats. One choice, just ask questions that really don't even make sense. So here, what is the correct side of a duck? The one I found out recently they use for graduate students when deciding whether or not to let them into Oxford. Why do animals have heads? Are you discussing answers? No, but the idea is that the question has no answer. Any answer becomes an interesting answer. It doesn't tell you anything about the question. It tells you everything about the person answering. I will show you what I mean. I need to put a couple of people on the spot. Now, in order for this to be interesting for the rest of you, we need to pick people who are possessed of above average imagination and intelligence. That's right. We're looking for women. It's not too late. Write this down. But sort of sitting off to the side. Your name is?
Me?
Me is a lovely name. Step into my office, please. And in the black with the short sleeves and the your name? You, me, and you. Perfect. I'm standing right over here. Your name?
Henriette.
Henriette. This is perfect. I'm standing over here. And me? Do you have an actual name?
Paula.
Paula. Excellent. So Paula and Henriette. So let me explain, and we'll take a tiny step back just to make sure that they can see. Let me explain. I'm going to ask the two of you a question. It'll be the same question. You will answer. We will learn about you. Hopefully, it is nothing too embarrassing or personal.
Never.
I will take all the pressure off of you in advance, and I will tell you that in 9 years, no one has ever gotten the answer right. So you can actually be quite creative with your answers. I mean, literally, no one. I mean, Paula will not be the first. Henriette makes me nervous. No, the question is very, very simple. What's in the bag? Now, at first, this seems like a very mean and unfair question because it could be almost anything. There's just a small size constraint. I will make it even worse. I will give them a hint. I will let them look inside the bag. They have lights in their eyes. Can't see a bloody thing. But I don't let them look for very long. It's my game, my rules. Get over it. But, you know, it could be almost anything. This seems like a mean question, but it's not a test of knowledge. It's a test of character. So with that in mind, Paula, what is in the bag?
There's a small bouncy ball.
Ah, a small bouncy ball. So first of all, what is this saying about Paula? Most importantly, you actually had an answer. You didn't duck, you didn't dodge, you didn't give a slimy, lawyerly non-answer like air or the inside of the bag. You actually took an object and you went with it. You faced the challenge head on. There was no trying to be sneaky or weaselly about it. You just went. And also a ball, something children use for fun and games, something that builds friendships. Perfect. We learn about you. Is this all sort of making sense? Yeah. Now you've got to top that. I'm sorry, what's in the bag?
$100.
$100. A woman who wants the money, and we can all respect that. Now, I cheat. The answer is an organic free-range chicken egg. Now you know why no one's ever gotten the answer right. So yeah, if you look at it head on, you get the shape kind of right. But no, I remember where I got the idea for this. This piece of magic is over 100 years old. If you want to go on the internet, you can see it done the original way. It comes from France. You get a very well-dressed French magician, two fabulous assistants. Let me see if I can get this right. You would say, bonsoir, mesdames et messieurs. This is how you say good evening, ladies and gentlemen, in French. Ontario Public School all the way. No. Je veux vous démontrer un expériment de prestidigitation avec un petit sac bleu et un œuf. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to show you a magic trick with an egg and a little blue bag. Ontario Public School under a Conservative government. You can spot the age divide in the room right away. I pretended to place the egg inside the bag, snapped his finger, stomped his foot, turned the bag inside out. The egg had disappeared, unless you were standing where Henriette was standing, in which case you'd see an egg hiding where it didn't belong, behind his right thumb. This gets worse, or better, depending on how much you've had to drink. No, he snuck the egg under the folds of his jacket, so if you looked at his hand, it was technically empty. Then while standing very, very still, because eggs have a very low coefficient of static friction, he turned the bag inside out while shaking the bag over here and praying that Paula did not try and give him a hug. Don't you dare. Don't you dare. He squozzed the egg from beneath his jacket. Squoz is the past tense of squeeze. It's a Latin root, look it up. Snuck the egg back inside the bag, showed his hands empty, and he said, "Ce sera une raclette fantastique et formidable, avec une beauté et une élégance sublime, sans paraître le monde entier." It's going to be sick. Dog. Snapped his finger, stomped his foot, said voila. Voila is the French word for voila. Reached inside, pulled out the egg. This gets worse, or better, depending on how much you've had to drink. If I drop the egg inside the bag, you see it, yes? White thing? Good. Would you take one finger? Excellent choice of finger. They have their iPhones out. You feel the egg. Roundy thing?
Yes.
Excellent. This is where this gets weird. Where we've gone straight past applause into skepticism. All right, we're there. No, we're there. Look, that's fine. Look inside, you see an egg.
No.
Feel inside. Yeah, there's no mousetrap, I swear. No. Look inside, you see an egg.
No.
Feel inside. Excellent. Notice your bracelet is exactly where you left it. That's important. Oh, he said something about sleeves. Do you want to see up my sleeves?
I was going to say it might have rolled up your sleeve. Yeah. Okay.
This is a new definition of the word see I was not previously aware of. But no, they're still unhappy. So we'll do this. You take your right hand, hold my left wrist. Hold firmly, do not let go. Wow. Okay. Take your left hand, hold my right wrist. Okay. Now, I realize I look silly, but they are holding my sleeves. If anything goes into or out of my sleeves, they feel it. They tell you. You know. They're keeping me honest. Or at least doing their very best against impossible odds. You know what? It's been a while since you've checked. With that free hand, would you feel inside? Yeah, no egg?
No.
No, your free hand? Good. Keep holding. Worked for the French guy. Worked for me. Voilà. Et voici l'œuf. Okay, you can tell by the way they're reacting, the trick is not yet over. No, when we get to the end, they will go mad. Some of them will go so crazy, they will actually throw money. Not Adam, he's still pissed. Henry, would you please hold your hand up for me just like this? This is a hard floor. This is very fragile. Do not drop this or the trick has no ending. Would you please hold the bag for me this way? 2 fingers inside, thumbs on the back. 2 fingers inside, thumbs on the back, pull tight, turn so they can see. Excellent. I have to ask you a very personal question. Do you have allergies?
No.
Good, because if you sneeze, this gets rather unpleasant. Let me explain. On the count of 3, with my sleeve rolled up to my elbow, I will grasp the egg and toss it up into the air. Right here, above Paula's head, the egg will disappear. When it disappears, it makes a soft poof noise, and then there'll be nothing left.
I'm gonna drop it.
Huh? No laughing. There is, of course, a second possibility, which is that the egg fails to disappear as planned, which would be a terrible shame because that is a fabulous dress. And now you take your phone out. What a horrible human being you are. Are you ready?
Yes.
I don't know why I'm asking you either. 1, 2, 3, poof. In case you're curious, there's not actually an egg in the bag. Look inside. Do you see an egg?
No.
Feel inside. Gently grab the bottom, turn it inside out. Would you help me with the corners? Yeah, I'm a bit of a diva. This has to look perfect on his Instagram. Look inside. You see an egg? Feel inside. No. Other hand. Still no. They won't both fit. But hold the bag exactly as you did before. 2 fingers inside, thumbs to the back. You're going to hold very, very still. Now, be honest. Actually, you know what? This is a very stressful situation. You have lots of people watching. You have lights pointed directly at. It's possible that in a moment of haste you missed something. So you should take a second and just look. You see nothing.
No.
And you see the bottom of the bag. Mm-hmm. Good. So is it fair to say that with my sleeve rolled up to my elbow, if I could snap my fingers, stomp my foot, say voila, reach inside and pull out an egg, hold very still. Is it fair to say your gas would be flabbered?
There's nothing in the bag.
That was not an answer to the question. Is it fair to say your gas would be flabbered?
Yes.
Young people talk funny these days. It's not going to happen. Oh, I'm sorry, you misunderstand. Henrietta's going to do it.
Do what?
You've been paying attention, right?
Yes.
Good. It's like a Disney movie. You believe in yourself deep down inside. It just kind of works. So here, we'll do this. Hold tight with your right hand so that you can let go with your left. Excellent. Just a little higher. You're perfect exactly where you are. Now, can you take my position right over here? You're going to face straight ahead towards the back. There's sort of a racket on the wall. You're going to raise your right hand up in the air. This is good. The lighting is perfect. Your hair is fabulous. Hold still. Let me just see. Yeah, let me see. Yeah. Is it a little higher? Yeah. Snap your fingers. Henriette, snap your fingers. Stomp your foot. With the best French accent you can fake, say voila. Shit, she's good. Reach inside, retrieve the egg. I will take that. Stay with me for just a moment. I will take that. Oh, I'll sneak in here, sure. Now, we have been into this weirdness for really quite a while, so we're going to take a short intermission, 10 minutes. So in that time, if you would like to go to the washroom, there's one on this side of the bar, one on that side of the bar. If you see the bottom of your glass and that upsets you, you have time to fix this. If you have one of those now legal smoke-related habits, you're more than welcome to go outside. Just remember the password to get back in is stirred, and if you don't take your phone with you, you will be sorry. For those of you that got the rest of your groups in, you know what I mean. Yes. Sorry, but before we break, one thing, I do feel really badly about the $100 bill thing. And the last thing I want is for anyone to leave a magic show empty-handed. So here, catch. Oh, wouldn't that be fun? And we'll see you back in 10 minutes. Thank you very much. A round of applause, please, for them. And we'll see you then. Thank you so much. Thank you. And we are back, and no one went missing. The second half is slightly shorter, but also slightly weirder. Very briefly, before we get into the true magic and weirdness of it, this really is our last show here for this year. This is something we have been doing in Toronto for about 2 years, and very, very quickly became my favorite way to perform. I am deeply indebted to some wonderful people, both here at Suite 114, but also at an organization called Grand Spirits, who do all kinds of wonderful things behind the scenes, putting this show together, like the website and that sort of thing. And it really was a sort of a labor of love, and to give people a chance to see a real live magic up close. I am not on a TV screen. I am not on a stage. I don't have scantily clad, sequined female assistants or any of that rubbish. To be able to see something like this live and this close is really something special. So you being here really, really does mean a lot, and we look forward to continuing this into next year. We have tickets available for shows in January and February. When you came in, actually on your tickets, you had a password which allowed you to get in, which also has another purpose. If you take that back to the Magic and Martini website, it will allow you to see shows next year at 50% off. Now, you have seen the show. It doesn't change all that much, but if you have family or friends who are not here and you would like to inflict this weirdness on them, we would be more than happy to have them. And this place, of course, is open 6 days a week, so if you just like the goodies and are upset that you didn't get to try the entire menu, come back anytime. There's a different password on the door, and they will test your brain power in order to let you in, but, you know, it's worth it. That being said, we are on to this. Now, this is not a magic trick in the sense that most people, again, are used to. This is actually, at one point, they thought this was the first trick, the oldest trick. Later turned out they were completely wrong. But the reason they said that is there's a painting of what appeared to be this on the walls of one of the pyramids, and later turned out to be something completely innocent, like a man taking a piece of fruit out of a bowl. It became very, very popular to perform on the streets of Europe in the 15 and 1600s. It moved indoors into these very posh salons in Germany and France and Vienna. This is a slightly more modern version. These were designed in the 1930s. There was a German master craftsman who was living in Colorado. The prototype was gifted to a Canadian master magician from Ottawa, then living in New York. Molds were taken to Iran, where they were hand spun and hand engraved in sterling silver, smuggled back into the United States by a Time Life reporter in his briefcase. I could not make this up if I tried. These are not the originals. These are replicas made in England. But just so you know that every word I say is true, they have the letters BS stamped inside the top. Even though one is exactly the same size as the other, one actually goes right through the other. No, I mean completely identical down to the 10th of a millimeter, and yet, if I'm at home all by myself, screw Netflix, I just do this over and over and over again. There are two more things that complete the trick. First are these little balls. They're little sort of dimples or recesses on top of the cups so that they don't roll off. And, very important, a magic wand. That is the normal noise that I get from women when I show them my magic wand. Now, for those of you that have seen Harry Potter, I feel compelled to tell you, these don't do anything. No, they're traditional, they're symbolic, they complete the ensemble. Anthropologists actually have a theory that subconsciously you perceive what I do as more impressive if I am manipulating a rigid, phallic-shaped object. I have a better theory, which is if you're performing this on the street, you can use it to hit people who try and take the silver dollars. Actually, the fact that those are still there is the greatest trick of the night. I'm going to do this as slowly as I possibly can, which is unfortunately not slowly enough. This is ball number 1. Ball number 2. Ball number 3. Harry Potter, eat your heart. Sorry. Yeah, they don't go far. They come back where they started. Underneath the cups. I take it back. Maybe more slowly is possible. Sitting next to Paula, your name is?
Sophie.
Sophie.
There are 3 cups. Will you name a number for me, please? 1, 2, or 3?
3.
3. We're going to remove a ball invisibly, bounce it on the tip of the wand. Sorry, still nothing here, still a lunatic. Good. We'll pass it through the top of cup. Number 3, meaning by your choice, there's now nothing over here, and 2 balls. over there. Thank you. I find your lack of faith disturbing. Nothing over here. 2 bowls. The only thing I don't know, because of the corner you're sitting in, when you count the cups to yourself, are you counting them as 1, 2, 3 or 1, 2, 3?
I was actually going the other way.
So when you said 3, you meant this one?
Yeah.
So it should come out from there, go over there, be nothing over here, 2 over there. Get back here. This works because when you can't see them, when they're blocked from your view, this is kind of like quantum mechanics. They'll actually go right through. Yeah. In a moment, I'm going to explain exactly how this is done. 2 reasons. First, if we had enough educational content to the show, I might be able to qualify for some kind of federal arts funding. That is, if you're quite done with the cannabis thing, Mr. Trudeau. Second, and more importantly, I have a small cash wager with Calvin. You're not going to believe me even if I do tell you, because quite frankly, it is rather silly. But before we do that, this I can't resist. There. 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 And sitting beside Atlee, your name is? Jessica, same question. 1, 2, or 3? 2. 2 is the same. Whether you count this way or this way. No confusion. So Jessica, now this is important. No matter what I might do or say to distract you, do not take your eyes off cup number 2. That's weird. No, it's the nicest thing anyone said to me all night. This trick, no, I will tell you how I do this. I am an honest magician, whatever the hell that means. No, the trick is based on 4 principles, 3 depending on how you translate the Italian manuscripts. The first, lots and lots of bowls, which means something different in Italian. But no, grow up. No, more bowls than you can reasonably be expected to keep track of on 2 drinks. So as far as the explanation goes, you don't actually need them all. This can go. This can go. You just have to watch the one ball in the center and this one, which has come back. This brings me to the second principle. This is called lying, which, let's face it, you figured out an hour ago. You don't actually place the ball in your pocket, right? You pretend to place the ball in your pocket. You watch an empty hand going back behind me, not doing anything. You hold the ball with the little finger, sneak it underneath the cup. It looks like that's where it was the entire time. That, ironically, is also a lie. Go figure. Yes, but if you stare at it the entire way back and you try not to blink and I still have 3 under the center cup, that's a magic trick. Yes? And this is where this gets completely confusing. I apologize, because the 4th principle is the same as the first, but different. Lots and lots of bowls, which, I'm sorry, I mean quite literally. Lots and lots. I'm sorry, you're being distracted by your drink. That's all right. Let me know when you're done. You got it? Got it. Good, you missed it. Lots and lots of bowls. Any questions? Good. I have a hell of a time explaining the lemons. There we go. Okay, now we're at a sort of a weird spot in the evening because there is a thing with, calm down, it's okay. We do tell you how all the tricks work at the end. It's not a big deal. No, there is a thing with a magic show, which is that you have to try and make it so that every piece of the show is weirder and stranger than the part that comes before it. So I am now in the very awkward position of topping citrus fruit. No, the good news is that I can. The bad news is one of you is not going to like it. And I'm going to pretend that while we were having that nice long intermission, that nobody slipped me a $20 bill and tell you that the person who is not going to like this is named Alex. They're good. Yes, yeah. There's a gap in the table almost made expressly for that purpose. Step into my office. Again, no one claps for him. They're all reaching for their phones. We're on your side. Perfect. Have you ever done anything this weird before?
No.
Excellent. Would you hold out your hands? Now, at the start of the show, you were really far away. You did not get to see these up close.
I did not.
Those are real American Morgan silver dollars.
Very nice.
There are 3 of them. May I have one? Don't need them. You're a connoisseur. I like that. You're going to need to hold those up to the light. Now, this is important. You cannot see through those, correct?
Nope.
There are no holes or gaps or hinges or moving parts of any kind.
No.
Good. You're going to need to hold them both very close to your eyes.
Okay. Ready for a smile? But so close you're going to see.
Yeah, that's about right. Wouldn't that be fun? No, put one of the coins back in the glass. Put the other coin in the center of the piece of tape. Press firmly. Good. You're going to hold one end of the piece of tape in a 45-degree angle, just like that. You're doing very, very well. Good. And we're going to move the piece of tape forward so the coin goes directly into my right eye. Good. And press that down. Anyway, okay, gently is an option, but we're good. This is going to make sense, I swear. You don't believe me when I say that. Hell, I don't believe me when I say that. Second coin. Second piece.
Same other eye.
Yeah, other eye. Same eye. There, press that down. There, good. There's an eyeball under there. Be careful. For those of you that care about this sort of thing, yes, my blindfold matches my eyes. For those of you that just whispered eyebrows, grab that. Third piece goes right across the top, cover both eyebrows, make sure no light gets in through the corners. Good. Has anyone ever told you you're actually really good at this?
No, first time.
Good. He said first time, which is a good sign. Last piece, and you go right across the front. Maybe there. And then, yeah, if there's any gaps in, say, there. Perfect. And over there. Good. Oh. And if you grab the ends of that. Now, I did notice how tall Alex was. I am not stupid enough to say pull as tightly as you can, but snug is good too. Double knot so nothing comes undone. Excellent. Now, before you go back to your seat, cards come in 4 kinds. Clubs, hearts, spades, and diamonds. Which one shall we use?
Here's it.
Yes, please.
Spades.
Any particular reason for your selection?
First one that came to mind.
I love it. Now, this is important. Are these cards facing up or facing down?
Which side? You mean the?
You
the
cannot
numbers?
see
I
what
can't see the
you
numbers.
can't see what the cards are.
See the numbers.
This is good. Now, there. Can you take about half the cards and place them there? So, sorry, I got my hand out of the way. Oh, I heard that. Can you mush the 2 halves together? And it'll be a mess, which is okay. Just tell me nothing fell on the floor.
They're about as good as I can get, and
But nothing fell on the floor.
Nothing fell on the floor.
Okay. Now, you've had to do a lot of weird things.
Yeah.
All facing the same direction?
Yep.
You've had to do a lot of weird things. I mean, more than most.
True.
I am not going to help you back to your seat
Okay.
for reasons of safety.
Sure.
But this round of applause will be for you. Why are we doing this? Deep in the heart of mind and universe, you know I must have a reason. What are we? Oh, sorry, face up, face down, face down, face up. Years ago, I was trapped in an airport lounge. It was a snowstorm. Flights were canceled. And we had no idea how long we were going to be there. And I was passing the time shuffling cards. You kind of get the idea. This is something I practice a lot. And while I was shuffling, I'm sorry, when you lose your eyesight, your hearing breaks up. Like 7 people are having really fun conversations right now, which I totally don't mind. No, while I was shuffling, there was a man who came and sat down beside me. He was attracted by the sound of the shuffling of the cards, the they make. Older gentleman, silver beard, get this, cowboy hat. And he said, and I will never forget this, "Son, I reckon I can show you something with that there deck of cards you ain't never seen before." I'm serious. He really was wearing a cowboy hat in an airport in a snowstorm. If you're from Canada, you've guessed the airport. He really did use the words ain't and reckon in a sentence. He was also blind. See, I told you this would make sense. And I had never seen anything like it before. But we were there for a really long time. Look at this. Long enough for him to show me this. Alex, you said?
Spades.
Spades, thank you. The idea is to go through the cards and locate the spades, one at a time in order, starting with the ace. A little bit higher up. That should be the 2. Now that I think about it, the whole nodding the head thing does not work at all. But it has become our thing, and when you do it, it's still kind of funny. So I say go with it. I'm sure. I'm sure if I make a mistake, someone will pipe up. Let me see. Adam, are you still here?
Here.
Sometimes they leave. No. Sometimes at this point, the whole audience leaves. They think it's hysterical. It was my birthday. Colin put them up to it. I forgave him. I will go through the cards. Adam, whenever you want, you just say stop.
Stop.
Thank you. Sorry, a little early. It's it's over here. That was the 3. Yes, no, maybe. We've gone face up, face. What are we? Yeah. Do we did the 3? Sorry. 4. Actually feels kind of fun. 5. Some people think that's showing off. Showing off, huh? Well, no, showing off is behind the back. 7 is easy. You cut the cards, you get 7. What do you mean, no? What card is this? Oh, so 7 of diamonds. So Alex puts 4 feet of duct tape on my face. This is a 7, but it's the wrong 7. Correct. And you find it in your hearts to complain. Eight. No, that doesn't feel right. Here, the 8 of spades in the middle of a shuffle. Nine. Oh. 9 and 10 at the same time. Sorry, that was a little fast. The Jack of Spades in slow motion. I don't usually laugh at that one. Oh well. And Atlee, are you still here?
Yeah.
Yes. Wait, who said yes over there? Are there 2 of you now? Huh? It's a good trick. I wish I could do it. Atlee, you're still here?
Yeah.
Do you remember the very beginning of the show? I told you something which did not make sense. I told you you were going to choose the wrong card.
Yeah.
And you wondered what the hell I was talking about.
Yeah.
Or clearly from the sound of his voice didn't care. Atlee, the time is now. Take a card.
Take a card.
Yes, please. Just grab one. I don't care. They're all, we'll just make sure just hold them. They'll see the Queen of Spades. We'll have to go. Now, are you still here?
Yes.
Do you know how to mix cards?
Not well.
Excellent. It's the best kind. So you take those. I have duct tape on my face, so you don't have to feel self-conscious. Well, you may have to mind the 29 other people who are watching you and judging you for the way you shuffle. And she's laughing. It's not a good sign. Now, the longer you shuffle these cards, the less likely this is to work. But by all means, take your time. This is the last show of the year, and I have 3 video cameras taping me.
I just put it back on your head?
Yes, please. It's face up or face down?
Face up.
Face up? Okay. All facing in the same direction?
Yep.
All facing you.
So we want... Let me see. One last card. You got the queen, yes?
Yep.
So I need the king?
Mm-hmm.
Yes? No? Maybe? So... Hold still. And every trick needs a surprise ending. Adam, at the beginning of the show, you thought of any card you wanted. You named the...
8 of hearts.
There you go. Now, this part, you are good at this. Sorry. Now, this all does seem, a little bit elaborate for a blindfold, and there's sort of method to the madness. Most people don't realize, well, why do you need metal coins inside? Because you can't see through duct tape. You also can't. I'm sorry, I hate this part. Oh God. The greatest trick of the evening. Are the eyebrows still there? You're not saying yes. I'm nervous. No, but everything in there sort of has a role to play, which is metal keeps the adhesive from sticking to the eyelids. Now, if you want the eyebrows to, there you go. If you want the eyebrows to stay on, it helps if there is a little something extra. Where's the other one? There. Now, Alex, you did something really weird tonight. Well, a lot of people were watching. And these are real American Morgan silver dollars.
Sure.
I think it is only fair that I keep these. You can keep this. You can do absolutely anything you want with it. eBay, Kijiji, Craigslist. It is worth slightly more money if you leave the eyebrows in. Maybe they'll just pass that back to you. For everyone else, thank you very, very much for participating in the show. I will say one word of warning. If you are wearing high heel shoes, this part of the floor is a death trap. Playing cards are very, very slippery, so please be mindful. We will take about a minute and a half and get those cleaned up. And for everyone else, that does wrap us up for this year. And I know we have been doing this here for a long time, and I have been doing this for a number of years. Many, many people find this kind of material discomforting. And the last thing that we need is for one of you to be lying awake in bed at 3 o'clock in the morning, staring at the ceiling, wondering where the hell the lemons came from. So, if you have absolutely any questions about how any of this material is done, you're more than welcome to stick around, join us for a drink. We will take a moment, get all of this tidied up, and then you go speak to Adam. He will tell you exactly how all the tricks work. All you have to do is give him $100, because quite frankly, that is the closest he ever came to it. Thank you very, very much for joining us. My name is James Allen. Good night.